Hi, it's Kaylin. I'm back with another video, and this is going to be a big book haul for you. I love watching book hauls. I love seeing what people have, what they're reading, and what they're interested in, and so I thought I would make one myself. I'm in the process of moving, so I have a lot of books packed up, but I do have a bag here of books that I can show you. I'm going to go through them one by one. I'm not going to spend too much time on each because that'll take too long. So I'll kind of just go through them, a brief little description, and just show you what I have planned to read. I don't really have a TBR planned for the month of August or September because I'm not really good at sticking to TBRs, and it takes me a while to get through one book as it is. So I find it's a lot better just to um, kind of just spontaneously, whatever you feel like reading, because you're not going to necessarily want to read certain books that you've picked out beforehand. So I kind of just base it on what I'm in the mood for. So with that being said, I'm going to show you what I have. I have a big bag of books right beside me, and I'll show you them one by one. And, well, I'll get started. So, first book I have is a book everyone's seen on BookTube probably hundreds of times now. Ready Player One by Ernest Cline. I'm listening to this book actually on Audible, and it's amazing. And this is actually a book I didn't think I would want to read because I'm not really into, I guess you'd kind of call this science fiction, kind of an alternate reality where everyone lives their lives kind of on this alternate in this alternate universe called Oasis. It's kind of like Facebook because everyone, everyone and their mother is on Facebook all the time. But this goes like a step beyond that to kind of almost like transport people into this virtual reality universe. So where it's kind of hard to tell where reality ends and virtual reality begins or vice versa. So anyway, this is really good. I'm listening to it. Will Wheaton from I guess Star Trek. Yeah, Star Trek. He is narrating it and he's really good. So this is great. I am really getting into it. He builds like such an amazing world and you can tell just like he must have spent so much time and effort just to like create this world. And I'm just really loving all the 80s references. That was a big draw for me that made me actually pick it up because I'm a child of the 80s. So, I love 80s music. I love 80s movies and 80s hairstyles and fashion and everything. So that was kind of what sold me on it because I was hesitant to pick it up for just the fact that it was virtual reality, I don't know, sci-fi. It's because I'm more of a, I read a lot of fiction, nonfiction. I haven't delved into science fiction or fantasy very much. So, but anyway, this is kind of blowing my mind actually, and it's a lot better than I expected it would be. And I figured, everyone raves about it on BookTube, so 150,000 people can't be wrong. So I thought I'd give it a try. It's really good. I'm about halfway through it. Again, I'm listening to it, so maybe I'll do a review on it when I'm done with it. But that's that. On to the next ones. What color is your parachute? This is like a job hunting, job seeker's guide. Comes out with a new version every year. This is by Richard N. Bolles. And it's about, job hunting, interview tips, resume help. But it's not your boring everyday job search book. It kind of goes beyond that. It kind of goes into marketing and networking yourself and making employers come to you rather than vice versa. So that's that. I started it and was really enjoying it. Thought it had a lot of really good advice. I put it down and didn't pick it back up, but I'll probably get back into it because I will be job searching again pretty soon. So I thought, I'll give this a try again. So next book I have is Sharing Chagall. This is a memoir on Marc Chagall, the famous artist. I always really loved Chagall. I think his paintings are just they're so interesting. They're very colorful, which I like a lot of color in my life. So I love him. And this author was doing a book signing at my local bookstore. So I went to see her speak. She didn't talk a whole lot about her relationship with Chagall. Actually, she knew him personally. She worked with him in the 1980s, I believe, before he died. I think he lived to be maybe 90 something years old. And she worked with him. She really came to appreciate him and his art. And so I thought, wow, this would be a good. I was just in the bookstore one day, and I had seen the book before, and I thought about picking it up, but I didn't. And the day I came into the bookstore, she just happened to be there in about like 15 minutes, about to do a talk. So I decided to pick up the book. I bought it, and I listened to her talk, and she signed it for me. So I thought this will be a great book about a great artist. Next book I have is Rosalie Lightning. This is a graphic novel, and I got into graphic novels about maybe a year or two ago. I had never really been into them before, but I love them so much. I'm hooked for sure. This is by Tom Hart. I think I read a comic by him maybe a year or two ago, but I don't know. I don't remember a whole lot about it. I think it took place in Florida, which is the state I used to live in. So that might have been why I picked it up. But if you want to look at the art, it's not remarkable, I don't think. I mean, I've seen stuff like this before, but the story is really kind of what made me pick it up. This is about... like I said, it's a memoir, so it's about the author and his wife's experience of losing their daughter. She died when she was very young, and it's about grief and how they are coping with it and how life changes when someone you love dies. So again, I had started this book and put it down and didn't pick it up again because I have a lot going on right now in my life. So I've been sort of in a reading slump, which I hope to get out of pretty soon, because there are so many books that I want to get to, and just not enough time, which is kind of the sad reality of life. But anyway, graphic novel. I think if I pick this up again, if I have more time, I'll really get into it because it's good so far. I'm enjoying it. So next book I have is a classic, The Stranger by Albert Camus. And I picked this up because actually I had never really been interested in reading it before. I didn't honestly know what it was about, but I saw a graphic novel version in a bookstore when I was vacationing in Asheville, North Carolina. And there's a graphic novel version, and it looked like the art was really interesting, and it looked really appealing. And I thought, oh, maybe I should buy this. And then I thought, wait, I haven't actually read the original, so maybe I should read the original first and then pick up the graphic novel later. So that's what I decided to do. It's about 120 some pages, so it should be a pretty quick read. The cover's kind of like a big beam of light. It's kind of bright. Sorry. But that's that. Next is Missoula by Jon Krakauer. And if you don't know, Jon Krakauer wrote Into the Wild and Into Thin Air, nonfiction books. I have never read anything by him, but I thought the premise of this looked pretty interesting. He goes to investigate a few rapes that happened in a college town in Montana. So this is about that, and he researches and sees, why these are happening. And I think the rapes kind of went unreported, and it's just about rape culture, I guess they say. And I don't know if he interviews the victims or the families or anything like that. But I think the overall sort of message is that it's not about Missoula. It's about, America or, any town, really. This can happen in worldwide. So this is just one particular town he investigates. So this looks pretty interesting. I love true crime books. I have read a lot of true crime and nonfiction, so I thought that would be a page turner. Next book I have is it's not a reading book. It's called 642 Things to Draw, excuse me. This is a fun little book. It offers you little prompts and, to draw. And there was a period a while ago where I really felt like drawing and coloring a lot. So I did a bunch of these. There's an example, a seagull and David Bowie. I kind of mixed them up though. The seagull was supposed to go over here and Bowie was supposed to go over here. And then there's a panda over here. A puzzle. So I drew a crossword puzzle. A board game. Tangled ribbons. Building blocks. So this book is really fun. It's just every now and then I feel like sketching or drawing something. And these books, I think I'd seen at Barnes & Noble. They're always there. And there's a bunch of different versions of them. I think there's one for writing, 642 things to write about. And I was an English major in college, a creative writing major. So I like to write. I haven't, not so much anymore, but every now and then I feel like, picking up a pencil and drawing more so. So this book is fun.